Alright everybody, how's it going? We're back, episode number 6, the Get Fit ASAP podcast. Today we're going to be talking about recovery. Okay. We're here with Danny and Bree.
Yeah.
And we're going to go over the importance of recovery. What do we do for it? Short-term, long-term recovery. But why don't we start off and say, or go over just the importance of recovery. You want to hit on it first?
I mean, yeah, I could jump in on it. Well, recovery is it's going to lead to your progress, right? So if you're not allowing yourself proper time to let your muscles recover from the strenuous activity that you did, like weightlifting, for instance, I just always relate to weightlifting, but you're constantly stretching and maximizing your muscles. So you're constantly tearing and breaking down the muscles. So if you're not giving yourself that proper recovery time, your muscles aren't coming back to where they need to be to gain that strength, and so over time you're just fatiguing, basically muscle fatigue and body fatigue and things like that. So recovery is huge for making progress in just your everyday athleticism and overall just leading to that next step in your workout. So recovery is super important, and it just keeps everything dialed in. Like we can start going down our list here of just why you should recover. But I mean, just to start off, especially for women, it's real important. But your body's hormones. Your body's constantly working, constantly changing throughout the day. Your food intake, your sleep intake, everything has a good part to that. So if you're recovering properly, you're keeping your body balanced, your hormones are producing the right way, energy is being stored and used the way it should be properly. All kinds of things. I mean, injuries, we get into injuries too, but just a common, like Carl Webb said a while back, an injury, like let's say we're doing a press or something like that and I injure my shoulder and I've got a rotator cuff injury or something there. If you get a serious injury, it takes about a month to relearn that movement. And so if I'm doing a press, I tear my shoulder, well, now I'm out for a while. It's going to take me a little bit of time to recover. Once I get back, it's going to take me 3 to 4 weeks to get that range of motion back or to get that strength back. So I think
maybe even longer.
It depends on the injury.
Injury's bad, right?
Definitely, yeah.
Months maybe.
Yeah.
We have people that hurt their ankle or knee and they're out for months. Especially if you go through surgery, then it's whole different process. But
yeah, definitely.
Well, I think I did read an article the other day that was saying if you're in pain, it's your fault. And, we get nagging pains, we get injuries, all things, happen if you're moving. Your body has a risk of being injured. And what happens is that we ignore it. We think it'll go away. We think it'll get better. Or if we just push through it, it'll be fine. But if we don't take the time to recover, to do the stretches, to do the work needed to support our body through what we're putting it through, we're going to stay injured or we're going to stay hurting. And so I think it's important to kind of check back in. You're doing all this work in the gym and you're just going to waste it if you're not taking the time to take care of your body, because our body goes through so much in a day. If all of us work mostly full time, we're then working out hard for an hour and we're not eating or sleeping well, or we're not stretching, we're not taking the time to cool down, we're going to see the ill effects of it after a little while.
Mm-hmm. Well, and you don't get stronger when you work out, right? You get stronger when you recover. Yeah. So, if you're constantly breaking down your muscles or, fatiguing your central nervous system, you're not getting that recovery, you're not going to get any better. You're just going to kind of stay there, basically, right?
Yeah. I think that has a lot to do with people, not PRing or hitting stuff. Yeah, hitting those plateaus, because you're not giving yourself that proper time to recover.
Yeah. So why don't we get into the diet, nutrition. I think that's a big part too. If you're not eating enough or the right things, you're not getting the right nutrients, and you maybe hit on supplements a little bit too. But what do you guys think as far as nutrition and then the importance of it as far as recovery?
Nutrition is probably one of the biggest things we push. I mean, we say here you can work really hard in the gym, but if you're not eating well outside of the gym, you're not going to see any results. Really, you'll see some results in the beginning, but then you're going to end up stopping and plateauing, because we only get you for an hour in this gym, maybe 2 if you come back or do some accessory work. But then the rest of that day, if you're not doing what you should, like eating well, you're just going to undo what you just did. You only burn so many calories in an hour. Yeah. And the rest of the day, if you're just plugging in double, triple, quadruple those calories, you're not going to see the results you want.
I've seen that with our members too, like on certain challenges that we've done, like our nutrition challenges that we hold. You can see the difference, like when they go from eating fast food regularly or consistently to going on a natural, healthy diet, eating raw foods. their energy levels are way
Spike.
better.
Mm-hmm.
You know, everything starts to balance and get dialed in, and you can see the difference. They're like way more sluggish when they're on fast food. When you're on actually natural, real, like raw foods, it's just so much more beneficial. So, yeah.
I think too, like for me, I think we probably can all attest for it, but when we get tired, if we're working like all day and we don't eat properly, so we just get busy and we like skip a meal, or like, oh crap, it's been friggin' 6 hours and I'm friggin' hungry, and you start to get that run down feeling and stuff like that. I think it's really important to time those meals out correctly, and then also food prep to set yourself up for success, right? So if we're really busy during the day, you know, everyone's doing different stuff. They got their jobs, they got kids, they got stuff like that. If you have those meals set out and planned out and your macros are already in point, you know, the portions are right, and then you're eating them at the right times, you should be getting those nutrients throughout the day, which is going to help you recover faster, keep your hormones in check. So I think that's really important. Eating a good breakfast too. I think a lot of people will come to the gym and, you know, maybe it's 10 o'clock or the 9 o'clock class or even the 12 o'clock class, and they're like, I haven't ate yet. I'm like, dude, you should eat.
Yeah.
You need to eat before that. You need to keep, you know, nutrients in your body.
Also, people will feel lightheaded during a workout if it's 10 o'clock and they haven't eaten yet.
I'm like,
well,
what's
how long
wrong?
have you been up?
Yeah.
Oh, 4 hours? Well, you haven't eaten at all, and now you're trying to work out really hard. Your body has a negative now.
Yeah, it's
not
not
gonna
through everything
perform.
that's stored,
Yeah.
and so you're running on empty now.
Oh, yeah. I mean, I can really feel the difference, you know, if I skip a meal or something.
Or you
I
eat
just
bad
get busy.
in a workout before.
Oh,
or if
yeah.
you're going to eat
Eat
bad and then you
before
try and
workout.
work out, you're going to feel horrible during the workout.
Yeah. I almost feel worse when if I don't get enough calories for my recovery, rather than eating, you know, maybe not so the best choices of food. So like, for example, say if you work out really hard that day, like more than usual, or you know you didn't eat enough that day, so you just got busy. Like at night I'll eat like a lot to make up for it. Let's say I like order a pizza and try to eat like the whole thing, because I'll try to make up for those calories that I didn't get. But I think that's almost more important, is getting those calories. Maybe not for some people.
Maybe for a guy.
You know, if I'm
Work
trying
for
to,
a girl.
I mean,
yeah,
not a full pizza to get those
Yeah.
calories, but still.
you know what I'm saying. But at least for me, because if I don't, I'll be
I think it
losing
depends
weight.
on your
So I'm
goals,
trying,
though.
yeah,
You're trying to keep weight on when someone else might be losing weight, and that's not something they should do.
exactly. No, I don't recommend
Yeah,
that.
everyone's goals are super different. So it just depends on what you're trying to get out of your workout. If you're trying to gain muscle and gain weight, then yeah, you're going to need to make sure you eat enough calories for the day.
Yeah.
If you don't, you're going to do the opposite of what someone who's trying to lose weight. You're going to lose the weight, and you're not going to be happy with it. But if you're someone who's trying to lose weight and they're like, oh, I didn't eat all day, so I'm just going to eat a big meal because it should equal out, it won't. Because your
That
body
is actually probably bad advice for someone.
Yeah,
else.
because especially if you're someone that's trying to lose weight and you struggle with early weight loss, when we don't eat for over 5 hours, our body releases hormones that tells our body, oh, we're not eating enough calories. So
Slow
when
your
you do get
metabolism down,
enough food, we're going to hold on to more of that food. So it makes your weight loss journey more difficult for someone who is trying to lose the weight.
Yeah,
so
I've seen that happen a lot.
That's when it comes down to knowing what your goals are and then speaking to a coach to find out like what's important for me, because this is what I want to do, and we can help you along that
So
way.
don't do what I just said. Just kidding.
Works for you, but not for...
Well, I don't do it very
yourself up.
often, but when sometimes it does happen where I'm just like, dude, I
Just
feel
need
like
to eat.
I need
Yeah,
to,
just that calorie deficient.
exactly.
Yeah.
I gotta
That
kind of feel it
refuel
too,
and
where I'm like, oh, I need to get some calories in me, but
Well, that comes with time being in the
but that's because I messed up and didn't do what I needed to
Yeah.
do before. You know what I'm saying?
experience.
Yeah.
Someone who's new to it, don't guess and do things you're not supposed
Yeah.
to. You can talk to us and
Yeah.
we'll help you out with it for sure.
What about sleep now? I think that's a really, really important aspect to recovery.
Well, even just going along with that, kind of back and forth with the nutrition and the sleep, like, yeah, set yourself up for success, do the meal prep and things like that. Supplements are going to be great for that too.
Oh,
Like,
yeah, let's hit on supplements maybe a little bit too.
proteins, carbs, things like that. I mean, we have some that we sell that have a complete all-in-one package, but you need that. You know, a lot of that stuff out there is glutamine, creatine, BCAAs, like all of that stuff is out there, and it's going to help you with that recovery. So if you feel like you're not getting enough nutrients from the food, or if you're having a hard time hitting like your 3 to 5 meals a day, definitely supplement in with some sort of carbs, some sort of protein and things like that to help with that. And then it goes into the sleep too, like casein protein, for instance. You take that at night, that's going to help your body feed overnight. It's going to produce, the protein that your body needs. It's going to store the carbs that it needs. It's going to keep you working overnight. So your body's actually, you're sleeping, but you're still working. And so you're not actually storing overnight. And then you wake up in the morning and you're ready and refueled and stuff. So Sleep's huge. Me personally, I know for just speaking for myself, I don't sleep enough, and I can feel it like throughout the days, throughout the weeks, especially later in the weeks, working out all week long. Like
starts adding up after the.
Oh yeah, it starts catching up big time.
Well, that's when our body rests, repairs, and recovers itself is at night, and so that's why, you do need that sleep. You can work out really hard, you can eat really well, but if your body's getting a negative kind of sleep, you're only sleeping a few hours at night, you're gonna feel that gap.
Or not
in
even
your
a good sleep.
Yeah.
So you slept 8 hours, but you're on, waking up all the time and stuff like that.
A lot of times, working out can help
sleep.
with that, though. If you are working out consistently, I've heard people come back and say, I'm sleeping so much better, and it's because your body's kind of getting rid of that excess energy you might have, or maybe anxiety, or whatever's kind of stressing you through the day. You can release that in the gym, and then you can sleep better. But you do need to make sure that you set aside enough time for you to get enough sleep. Everyone's different. Some people need a full 8. Some people feel really great with 6. You probably shouldn't go below 6, but people are different. Some people need 10. Everyone's a little bit kind of different.
What do you
that
do?
6 to 8 range is like ideal.
I think 7. I feel really good with 7. If I get under 6, I definitely don't feel good at all. I'm exhausted the next day. But if I sleep more than 8, I tend to feel almost as bad as if I didn't sleep 6, almost like groggy or tired. It depends, what we've been doing, but you do notice like my soreness doesn't go away as well if I'm not sleeping enough. I feel like my soreness hangs longer if I don't sleep. But I think it's just kind of looking at your schedule and planning out for success. You need to eat well, you need to work out maybe once a day, you need to sleep enough. So kind of try and look at that planner, whether it's on your phone or on a, actual book, and planning out, this is what I need to do so I can recover myself well.
Yeah.
And then what do you guys think about, we'll kind of go to the, some therapies or, chiropractor, the cryotherapy, the ice, or even the complex. I don't know if that's really therapy, but do you guys use any of that stuff or any other things? I mean, acupuncture?
Well, like, we always tell everybody after class, like, hey, spend 10 to 15 minutes on a lacrosse ball or a foam roller or things like that.
Mobility.
That's like really basic type recovery stuff there. I complex a lot. I do it, daily pretty much. Every other day, maybe if I can. If I do a really heavy session or something like that, I definitely complex.
And what is a complex if some people don't know?
Complex is a muscle stim machine, so you got little electrode pads you can put on the muscles, so where the muscle's fatigued at, you set it in place, and then on the unit you can set it to certain settings, higher and lower, but it gets the muscles firing, so it's increasing the blood flow throughout your muscles, and it's giving you a better, stronger recovery, and it's a faster recovery that way.
Bringing more nutrients to your muscles.
Yeah, exactly, yeah. For instance, Murph. We did Murph just at Memorial Day, okay? 300 squats, 2-mile run, and that, legs were shot. I got home, I complexed that night, I came back the next day, did deadlifts, wall balls, worked out, everything was fine. My recovery was like
Good.
right on point. Yeah, so using those tools I think is really beneficial. Finding things out there that's going to help. Massages are going to be great, go get a massage, go get a chiropractor.
Probably my favorite's the massage.
I like massages.
I really like the chiropractor too. Everyone has different opinions on chiropractors, and if they, work or don't. I have found a lot of success with it, so I really do like it, especially if I have something that's nagging and I go. They seem to be able to kind of tell me what's going on if I can't quite identify it myself. And then I at least have the tools to look up to say, okay, if my back is tight, it's maybe because of this. And then I can look up, okay, what stretches should I do? Or what should I be doing to help recover? What should I avoid? And stuff like that. And then, of course, massage. I really like. And I just think rolling out and using a cross ball after a workout is one of the most important things you can do.
Yeah.
That's like, your short-term recovery is what you do right after the workout. And sometimes we have members that do their workout and then peace out and walk away. And it's like you should spend at least a few minutes rolling out, if not doing like some stretches or some walking, because your body just put your body through a lot, and it's firing.
Like, I don't know if you see it like when they come in the next day, you can
they're
tell
so sore
they're
and
super
tight.
tired.
It's like, well, if you spent 5 minutes, you don't have to spend a lot. Just a couple stretches, some rolling out, you'll probably feel better through the day.
We always have a cool down program, so like they should at least be doing that.
They still walk out because it's like, okay,
and then maybe a little bit extra because maybe they have a little certain point that they need to work on that's tight or that's bugging them.
Because that's going to help your short-term cool down, which is right after, is going to help your long-term.
Yeah.
So if you're not doing that stuff right after, whether it's stretching or walking or doing some kind of slow movements, like we sometimes prescribe some dumbbell work, like accessory work, it's not meant to be done fast, it's meant to be done slow. If you're not doing that, you will notice that you don't recover in the long term as well. You'll stay sore, like you said, Dan, you'll stay sore longer because you didn't support those muscles right after.
Yeah. And I think something that I mess up on, and I think a lot of people probably do also, is I won't roll out or do any of that, or a lot of it, until it's already
too late,
bugging me, right?
Sore,
so they should be taking like a preventative approach to it and doing it before. Like, hey, I just did a bunch of squats. Okay, I'm gonna roll out, even though it doesn't hurt yet. It probably is gonna hurt tomorrow. So why don't I jump start on it and start doing it now rather than wait until it's already sore?
You can barely.
Well, you need to try to make that part of your routine. Like everything we're trying to do, right? It's just more about your daily lifestyle, like incorporating it. You know, the nutrition and the sleep and everything like that. You're rolling out, and the lacrosse ball and everything like that is part of your routine. You wake up, you eat, you sleep, you work out. You should recover too, right? It needs to be part of that routine. So
I think the routine is the biggest part too. So like, and then once you do, okay, say for example, all you do is eat good, but you don't sleep good, and then you don't roll out, and you don't do the other little things, it's not going to see a big difference. But I feel like if you do all of those things, it's going to, like a domino effect, and it's really going to see the benefits of it, if rather than just doing kind of one thing and maybe another thing kind of half-assed. I feel like if you do all those things, it works together really well, and then you're going to feel, get a lot better recovery rather than just doing one little thing. You might not even feel the benefits of just doing one of those things, but if you do all of them together,
you'll feel the
then you'll feel the real benefits of it. Yeah, exactly. I know for me, Joe Cooperman, who's a chiropractor, he was working with us when we went to the games. He was really helped us out a lot, because especially for the games, they're competitive, working out competitively. They're doing more volume. You're pushing a little bit harder. Maybe one rep you get out of the line, or you're pushing your bodies to the limit, so things happen. But he was helping us a lot, and I felt a lot better. After I went and saw him. Yeah, when he's actually going to be on our next episode, we're doing a clinic with him this weekend. So all our coaches, he's going to go over mobility stuff for our coaches to help for recovery. But I'm going to have him on the show, and we're going to talk about some more stuff with that.
He's super knowledgeable, and he goes out of his way to help you. Like, I was having some lower back tightness, and he just sent me like a bunch of stretches to try. And
I like him too, because he does it, right? He works out. CrossFit. And not even CrossFit, just even working. He's active. He works out. He knows the problems athletes have and what we're going through, rather than other doctors that I've seen
who are really smart but don't necessarily know what it feels
like. Or just like, don't do anything. I'm like, no, you know what I'm saying? So I think that's really important. Any other things that you guys do that kind of helps you with that? I don't. That's about. I like chiropractor and massage. I hate ice. Yeah. Because I'm a little sissy.
I do ice every now and then.
I hate ice. Oh, God, I hate ice.
I'll do ice every now and then if it's, like, super
It depends on, like, what it is. I think if I'm having, like, a shin splint episode for some reason, like, I ran on the cement, like, after a half that we did. My shins were really tender. Then I think the ice really helps. It gets that inflammation down. But most of the other, like, muscle stuff,
I don't think it works very well.
I think it works.
And actually, there's a lot of studies that ice doesn't
There's also
work.
studies that say that ice does work. One book that you read. One book.
It's a good book. That's a couple books. Do your own research on it, guys, and see what you think.
All I know is how my body feels after I do it, and that's how I go off
That's what matters, really.
It's the same, like, people have evidence that, like, a chiropractor doesn't do anything, or they're not as good, but my body feels great after, so I'm going to keep doing it because it doesn't do harm. But I'd say probably chiropractor and sleep are my favorite for sure.
Yeah. What about you, Danny?
Yeah, I have lacrosse ball. I live on a lacrosse ball. Yeah. I tell everybody, once I discovered that, I've got a ball in every room in my house. I've got one in my car.
I travel with one.
Yeah, I have it all the time. So.
Especially with,
so convenient, and it's small.
It's super small. You can take it in your carry-on. Like when we travel, if we're going to drop in anywhere when we travel, I bring a lacrosse ball because I know I'm probably going to be sore.
It's so good. It works everything.
Easier than carrying like a big roller with you.
Oh, yeah. Easily.
I actually don't like the roller that much.
The lacrosse ball targets better.
Deep. Like, besides your quads.
I was going to say quads. If my quads are really sore, I like the roller.
On my butt. But you can get... the lacrosse ball can work just as good for that. But the lacrosse ball on their quad doesn't feel the same. I feel like the roller is a little bit better for that. But other than that,
I think it's such a big muscle.
Yeah, you get just about everything,
How much should people be resting? So say, for example, they're working out every day, maybe 5 days a week, 3 days a week.
That's always a tough question.
It's such a hard question because it's so, I think, personally different for everyone. I think you need to kind of listen to your body. Some people can work out 7 days a week and they're fine. I have people that, work out for more than 3 or 4 days and they really do need a day off. And I think as you are in with our gym longer, you start to learn your body better, and you just kind of listen to it. If you feel like there's a day you're just super fatigued and you have a lot going on, don't feel bad about taking a day off.
Yeah.
It's okay. Maybe do some active recovery. Maybe go for a walk. If you have dogs, if you have kids, go do something active, but you don't need to drag yourself into the gym if you're just truly exhausted, or if you feel like you're sick, please don't bring that into us.
Yeah.
It's not a big deal to take a day. It's when you take multiple days that it starts to become, a negative thing for you. But I think listening to your body, there's no real like perfect number. I mean, people say, 3 on, 1 off, or, 3 on, 2 off, whatever.
Yeah.
But I think for me, my personal is I like to work out 5 days and take the weekend. I think that works best for me.
Yeah, I think that's most people, just with the common
The
work
schedule.
schedule and things like that. I think that's what most people stick with. I think CrossFit mentions the 3 on 1 off as their ideal training method, but yeah, it's hard to stick with that. I mean, we work out 6-7 days a week and things like that.
It's like if I know I have a free day, I don't really want to waste it if I know I'm going to be busy later. So I just try and I don't look at my schedule.
And now what about what's an off day? Is that totally off? Is that coming in and doing a active workout or a recovery workout?
It depends on the person and the schedule. Maybe it's not feasible for them to come in and just do an active recovery, but it doesn't mean an off day means don't eat well. Off day shouldn't be totally off. It should just be off maybe from the gym.
Or even like an off day, you could do a hike.
Like I said, go for a walk
or something like that,
active.
or go to the...
I think the best thing is just assess yourself in the morning. Like, wake up in the morning, get your breakfast, wake up, get things moving. How are you feeling that day? Maybe you make it into the gym. Maybe you just go in and you do the warm-up, and you're kind of just assessing yourself during the warm-up. How are you feeling mentally? Are you ready? Are you prepared for the workout? How your body is physically responding? Things like that. And then after you get through the warm-up, maybe you're ready, maybe you're more activated, or maybe you're not. And maybe you just go to the coach at that point and be like, dude, I'm just really feeling it today. Like, I'm super fatigued. I'm tired. I can't really do much. And then let us help switch that up for you and keep.
And we can always
you in
give you
that
something.
Rhythm,
but I think too, you'll find that if you're doing all of your support, you can work out more days in a row.
Yeah.
So if you're eating bad and you're not sleeping well and you're not, stretching or anything, then you might end up tapping out after a couple of days and needing that day off. But if you're eating really well and getting the kind of recovery you need, you might feel like, no, I actually feel okay. I'm going to go again today. But you're never going to have, I think, a magic number. Every week's going to be different. Just depends on your life, because we all know that.
Or how hard are the workouts you did
our members,
that week.
have lives and they work. And
or you didn't sleep very good that maybe 2 days in a row. Maybe you just had a kid and the kid wasn't sleeping very well and woke you up a lot. Maybe
Probably
you didn't food prep that week, and
Yeah.
now you're not set up for nutrition.
Yeah.
Well, let's kind of flip the script.
Well, I would try to limit that too. Like on your rest days, like we were saying, 2 days I think is like
Don't really
maximum.
want to rest more
Try
than
not
that.
to rest more than that. Yeah, because you're starting to get out of your routine.
Yeah. Let's kind of flip the script. So, what about people that say they can only work out 2 days a week because they're not recovering enough, or they don't come to the gym because they feel like they need
Too
more
sore
rest days?
or something.
When it's really not, but they're mentally they're not used to being sore,
Well, what's
being a
happening
little
is,
worn down.
Like you're shocking your body, right? So we all did that. We first started our workouts, right? First day we go in, boom, we're going hard, trying to push ourselves, trying to challenge ourselves. We get done with that workout. Yeah, you're super sore afterwards because you're shocking your system. Your body's never done that before. So if you do that once, and then you take the whole week off, well, now you're just starting over again. So every time you do that, you're basically shocking your body every single time. You're making it harder for yourself to recover.
You never get rid of that
harder for it to
soreness.
adapt. Yeah.
Exactly.
I always tell new members to come back the second day no matter how they feel.
Yeah,
and just tell a coach, like, I can barely walk today. That's fine. Let's just do some stretches. I just want you to get in the habit of coming in, consistently versus like, oh, I'm sore, so I'm going to stop. Because it's hard when you're first starting up. Some intense workouts are going to be super sore, but it's so normal, and you just need to come back in and communicate it. If something's really bothering you the next day, it's like, okay, well, we'll just switch this workout up, or we'll lessen the reps, or lessen the rounds, or lessen the time. There's always something we can do to help you and keep you coming in, because if you kind of take that approach, you're just going to always, like Danny said, you're always that first soreness. That first soreness is the worst. I promise after a week or two, you're not as sore anymore, because your body does adjust. But if you're always kind of restarting, you kind of never lose that first soreness, and then it's hard and it's no fun. None of us. I mean, we've taken time off, and then you come back and you're just like, wow, I remember what it was like to start, because I'm so sore again. But it does fade.
Well, and then a lot of people too, they think, like for instance, everybody is familiar with leg day and things like that, and you can't walk the next day and blah blah blah. So everybody gets this idea of, okay, my legs are super sore, I'm just gonna sit. Well, you're
So
not
that's
doing
10 times
anything.
worse.
Yeah,
So much worse.
Everything's getting so much tighter and stuff. You have to move. You have to get the blood circulating and get the muscles stretched and,
Because
work through that
it's just a
soreness.
buildup
Yeah.
of lactic acid, and
Yeah.
if you sit, it just sits there built up. But if you don't,
Gotta
if you
flush
move,
that out, man.
it flushes out. It's just trusting the coaches. I mean, we've been around it for a long time, and we've helped a lot of people start their journey and continue it, for years with us. So I think just making sure you communicate. We can't help you if you don't tell us what's going on. We just assume you're fine unless you're saying this hurts or this is hard. We can always help you. We can always modify. We don't judge to modify something down.
Right. And then, too, make sure, injury versus soreness. Soreness, yes, you can be very sore. There's been times where I've done a ton of pull-ups and I can't even open up my arms or bend my arms. That's not an injury. That's just soreness.
Stretch. Yeah.
So you got to stretch through that stuff. But yeah, I mean, if you're getting sharp shooting pains, then okay, that's more concern. That's more injury related. But soreness, we can push through things like that. So
We can help you.
Do you guys ever take a day off because you're really sore?
No. Usually I try and do something. Maybe it's not, very hard day. Like if I really, my legs after the competition that we did a few weeks ago, my legs were such toast the next day. There was no way I could do a full intense workout. But I just did an on the minute with some 5 squats
workout.
just to try and move those muscles, and then my body thanked myself for the next day, because the next day I felt better. But I knew if I didn't move that first day after, I would have been so sore the rest of the week.
What if you do 3 or 4 days in a row and your body is just
Toasted,
not toasted, but just a lot of soreness?
Maybe just take an active
But
recovery
you still
day then.
feel pretty good.
I think come in and warm up, because you might change your mind after a 10-minute warm up on how you feel.
Yeah.
Because sometimes we do walk in and it's wow, I'm so sore, my body feels so tired, but I do the warm up and I feel way better. And people will say that when they come in, oh, I'm so sore, I can barely move my legs. And they'll warm up, they're like, man, I feel so much better now.
Yeah.
And it's just coming in and trying it. And if you really, like Danny said, get through the warm up and you're like, wow, I'm just not feeling good today, my body hurts, then we can just say, okay, you did the warm up, why don't we just go to the side and do something a little bit less intense of a workout just to move you today so that you feel better tomorrow.
Yeah, maybe just sit on the rower or sit on a bike or something like that. Just slow speed and just get in the movements. Yeah.
So I think it's important too to let people know, even if you're if I'm gonna take a rest day, it's usually because I could feel my body is just really tired. It's my central nervous system more than muscle.
Yeah.
Because if my muscles are sore, I'll usually always just keep working out.
Do something.
Yeah, because unless I'm or you feel like you're getting sick, then I won't work out. Those are the two big things for me. So I could tell if almost I'm just tired the whole day, I'll take a rest day that day.
Just run down basically.
Yeah, just run down, and not really my muscles being sore. It's just more of your body being
everything.
Yeah.
But
being
in
tired.
that sense, when you do that, you're okay, you're shut down, you're run down, you're kind of taking it as an off day. You're still rolling though, right? You're still hitting the foam roller.
Yeah, so you're still trying to recover.
Things like that.
Yeah, I mean, I'll probably do 30 minutes or an hour of some kind of whatever rolling out. Probably 30 minutes actually, to be honest. Rolling out or something like that. Just kind of resting a little bit more. I think that's important. But then also I think people need to understand is that when you're trying to get better, you need to have your body feel like that way. So if you're never feeling run down, you're probably not working as hard as you need to be. So say for example, we do it competitively, or for the games or whatever, and people will start working out with us, and then or say they start doing the more competitive stuff. They'll be oh, I can't do this, I'm so run down. Yeah, you're supposed to feel like that. That's how you're gonna get better. That's how you're gonna grow. Your body is supposed to be run down, so your body will adapt to it. Exactly.
But that's when the recovery comes into play. If you're feeling run down, how do you support it? Make sure you're eating really good. Diet can play such a big part in making yourself feel better.
Yeah.
If you're run down.
But I think a lot of people won't push it to that point.
Yeah.
You know what I'm saying? They won't get run down because they'll stop. They're right when they start getting a little bit, they'll be oh, I need to take a rest day. No, bro. This is what it feels like.
That's
all the
something
time.
that we went over, through the CrossFit Movement Mobility. They talked about your work threshold and what your body can sustain. And every time you maximize that threshold, getting close to that sensation of puking and wanting to just shut down and pass out and stuff.
Or volume is probably the main thing of it because you do that. Say if I worked out with Matt Frazier, I'm oh shit, I can't do this. It's too much. But that does take over time.
You do that consistently, and that threshold just grows and grows and
grows.
pushes. So.
I mean, even when I first started, I did 10-minute workout, and I was freaking done for the whole day. You know, but now over time, you can do like 5 of those, and you know.
When it comes up to intensity too, when you first start, you're obviously going to be a lot less intense than 3, 4, 5, 6, even a year in. Your workouts, you'll be able to do more capacity, like Danny said, and so it's just kind of pushing to your level and not comparing yourself necessarily to everyone. You can work out with people way better than you. You're just going to push to your own limit, and that's fine. As long as you do that, you're doing really good.
I think that's the important thing too, is like the intensity of the workout. So like I think that's more important than the volume. Not more important, but that will hinder your recovery, or it's harder to recover from an intense workout rather than like more volume. So say for example, we did Fran and we did it in 2 minutes, right? And the soreness from that, or the recovery from that, is gonna be totally different. Say I did 3 Frans, but it took me 30 minutes. Like I probably won't even be sore. But I did 3 times more of the volume, but the intensity of it was so much less, or so that the recovery is going to be a lot easier to recover from. Or say for example you did 100 push-ups. If you did that in a row, you'd be freaking jacked, right? Or if you did 10 on the minute for 10 minutes, you're not going to be probably sore from that.
It just changes the structure of the workout.
Exactly.
It's like if you're going for a wind sprint, sprinting as hard as you can for 200 meters, but then you jog 200 after. It's like the recovery between the two is different. It's just a different style.
Yeah. It's the stimulus that the muscles are getting.
I think that like this, in CrossFit or the high intensity in general, is like it's harder to recover from, so you don't need as much volume. That's why people can get like a great workout under 10 minutes and it's like still be really sore. I'm not really sure the science behind it as far as why you're so much more sore doing that.
I don't know the science either. I think it just maximizes like your blood flow and everything that your body's producing in that short burst.
Ripping up more, building up more lactic acid, I guess, and then I don't know.
I think you're going like 100% versus like a slow burn.
Yeah.
And I think when you go 100%, just your body activates so much more than like.
You're just doing more work, honestly, because over the time, you're doing the same. But yeah.
Well, and
you
then
can really
it all
tell the difference
ties in. Like it all goes back to that, like your intensity of your workouts has to do with your recovery the day before and the night before and the week before and so on. Like, what are you doing to set yourself up for your next workout? I'm sore today. How am I going to be ready for tomorrow? Like, what are you going to do today to
also,
make that better?
I read articles kind of like just talking about like micro tears. So basically, like over a long period of time. So say for example, what is like a weightlifting cycle, just because it's really structured. Say it's like an 8-week cycle, and obviously you have rest days in between that, right? Maybe you're working out 3 days per week or 4 days per week, so you're getting 1 or 2 rest days per week. So you're recovering, right? But you're doing that for 3 weeks, and you take like a deload week in that 4th week. It's because those micro tears that never get fully recovered over the first week, 2 weeks, 3 weeks, it just keeps adding on and adding on. So you're getting more micro tears that never get recovered. So then all of a sudden, like at that 4th week, you're like, whoa, I'm still getting rest days. I'm still recovering throughout the week, but that end, or that last week, that 4th week, your body gets a chance to heal all those muscles that were getting torn down throughout those 4 weeks, or sorry, the 3 weeks that never got fully recovered. So say like you did that workout on Monday, and then on Tuesday you got like 92% recovered, right? Like not all your muscles got recovered, but majority of them. So you go into Wednesday, you tear them down again. It gets recovered. It's about 89% now of your muscles get recovered. So it keeps going down and down and down and down. But then you take that deload week at the end, and then say it got worn down to like 70%, and then you get all the way back to 100 or whatever. But I think that's important too. Is like every now and then taking a couple days off, or maybe a whole week, or maybe just it's less intense that week. So maybe you're still working out, right? But then it gets all those micro tears get actually recovered, and you get kind of set back to neutral. But I know like when I did that, I think like 2013, I was working out really hard. Like I just get hard every freaking day for like months and months and months, and like all of a sudden I was like, dude, why I feel like run down. It's been like 3 months. I never took like a long break at all, and I took a long break and I felt a lot better after. I was like, oh. And then like every now and then I think you need to take like a longer break, whatever that is, or just I just never even took off the pedal at all for the whole time, and I feel like the cumulative
fatigue,
tear down or fatigue I got finally added up, and I was like, oh shit, like it's not recovering as much as I need to. So I think that's important too. And if it's strategically placed, like in a CrossFit or like class, it's a little bit different because we don't have a. Actually, we do program deload weeks sometimes.
There's
That's not
sometimes
true.
you do
Yeah,
notice
that's
some
pretty
ties
true.
programming.
But in weightlifting, I think it's more common.
Structured.
Yeah,
you know,
you
really
see it more. Yeah. But even in that same sense, like just talking about like your 1 rep max. You know, if you hit a 1 rep max back squat on Monday, you do that again on Tuesday, you're not going to hit the same weight. You do that again on Wednesday, you're not going to hit the same weight. It's going to constantly go down. You're actually having a negative effect if you should continually do that same lift.
We're doing the same thing over and over and over. Your body gets acclimated to it or accommodated to it.
Exactly.
You know, I tell people we don't have to lift heavy every week to get stronger, and that's why we do get people that PR a lift when we haven't done it in a couple months, you know, trying to max out. It's because we've been doing a lot of other stuff to support those muscles and build up. You know, and it just comes down to, I think, knowing your body, trial and error. I mean, we didn't learn how to recover properly right away. We kind of like, okay, that didn't work. I'm really
We had to learn out the hard way, guys. So,
talking to your coaches, they're all knowledgeable. We've all been in it, like I said, and we've all done the mistakes of not recovering well and then paying for it. So, but I think all in all, it comes down to just being kind of consistent. And you don't have to be consistent and work really hard every day and fatigue yourself. You can come all the time, 5-6 days a week, and just, you know, maybe on one day you just take it a little bit easier. Or if you always do performance, that's why we have fitness, you know, just like a different
or come in for a shorter class,
workout.
maybe come in for the crunch class, a little less volume, right? Or maybe just, you know, it's an AMRAP, you know, okay, I'm going to just go 80% today, or, you know, you just always let a coach know, and then we can help you out, you know. So that's what we do all, you know. So we do all day. So we, that's what we're here for.
And your capacity is going to change. The more longer you do it, the less likely, you know, maybe your 80% is going to change. You're going to all of a sudden find like, wow, I'm not going as hard today, but months ago this was like really hard for me. And so just kind of staying consistent with it and taking care of yourself.
Cool, guys. So thanks for tuning in. If you have any questions about recovery or anything like that, leave us a comment, and we'll answer it for you. Try to get some more research. I know you guys probably have some questions about it. Ask a coach in class if you need any help with anything. Don't forget to subscribe to our YouTube channel, iTunes, Get Fit ASAP podcast. Subscribe there also to get all our episodes. Instagram _ASAPFit_. And you guys
like us on Facebook,
like us on Facebook. Anything else you guys want to say?
No.
Recover. Stretch and recover.
That's it. All right, I'll see you guys next week.